This is Bengals Nation with Coach Marvin Lewis, presented by Tri-Health.
Welcome to Bengals Nation. Jen Dalton back here at the Holy Grail, and this place is jumping this week after the big sweep over the Ravens, and we've got a great show for you. We have a very special guest here tonight. Jason Campbell is going to be joining us at the Eichler Golf Car Autograph Table, and a great band as well this week. Here, Come Here is back for a return visit. They're on the Antonelli College stage. The Bud Light Ball Toss, yep, it's back again this week. So much fun, and you cannot miss Marvin's Must, brought to you by Northgate Mall. Time now to send it over to Brad and Coach, though. And Brad, I'm wondering if Coach brought his broom with him after the big sweep of the Ravens last weekend.
Jen, thanks very much. Yeah, brooms, vacuum, whatever you want to do. It's a sweep of the Ravens. It's all good. We will break down that Ravens game. We'll look ahead to the Jacksonville Jaguars coming up this week. We'll cover it all this half hour. But first, let's send it back to the Holy Grail and Mike.
Okay, thanks very much, Brad. Our guest tonight at the Eichler Golf Car Autograph Table is quarterback Jason Campbell. Jason has a ton of NFL experience under his belt, most of it as a starter with the Washington Redskins, and then again in Oakland with the Raiders. And Hugh Jackson, the current offensive coordinator here in Cincinnati, served as his head coach out by the Bay. We'll talk with Jason about that and what the rookie quarterback the Bengals will face tomorrow. Blake Bortles is facing as a young signal caller in this league when he doesn't have a very strong supporting cast. That and more with Jason coming up later in the show. In the meantime, let's send it back to you and Coach Lewis.
Mike, thank you very much. Coach, you mentioned after this game you thought this may be the best collective game your team has played, even during the time when you look at the three-game win streak that you started the year with. Why?
Well, I thought we did some things better. And, I guess more of the point was I don't know that we played especially well in the first three games as well as people thought. I thought the scores were one thing, but I thought we did good things in this game, being able to close the game out at the end. I thought the drive to win the game, pleases you on offense. And so those are big things. Obviously, we made a big third down conversion in that drive, which was huge. All
right, we'll talk much more about that game as we go on. First, let's hear what the players have to say about getting ready for the Jags.
Maybe for like some of the teams that are undefeated, if there's any, or the Broncos or something, but for us, it's no trap game. We haven't done anything to consider Jacksonville Jaguars a trap game. We still have to go out there and beat them. We're 4-2-1. We're in no position to think any opponent is a trap game.
Tri-Health wants to remind women of all ages that early detection saves lives. So make sure you're following these steps. First, make sure you're performing monthly breast exams. Know your family history. Go to the gynecologist annually, and if you're over 40, make sure you're getting that annual mammogram. We are all in this together, so men, make sure that you remind the women in your lives that mammograms are the first and most important step in the fight against breast cancer. Time now to send it over to Brad and Coach.
Jen, thank you very much. Coach, we always talk about you can't pick your schedule. Every week's the Super Bowl. You got to win. But I think in the situation this is, you have to agree this is a pretty galvanizing win for this team, the way it was done.
Well, it was a good win. Obviously, a division game, another division game, a home game, against one of our, division teams that we know is always tough and physical. So that was big, and we could do it without having to go 75 minutes.
Yeah, I hear you. The situation with Andy Dalton is he's always going to get criticized, and man, he was ripe to be ripped apart until he comes back and does it. What's it say to you about Andy Dalton, the way he won the game?
Well, that's what that's what you want from your quarterback.
Yep.
That's what we believe from him all the time, and he has a great ability to let the play go, and move on to the next drive, the next series, the nest play, and that's what's key for a quarterback to play at the high level here.
Your opposite coach, Mr. Harbaugh, had a post-game press conference as well, and he said that he thought the Steve Smith play was the best run and catch he'd ever seen. Unfortunately, it was called back. He didn't see a reason why. I suppose you got a lot of those plays in every game where coaches could say, depending on what the refs call, this is the way it should have worked out.
Well, again, it's part of it. We had one a couple weeks ago, and where we had a guy run in for a touchdown, and then it was really not a penalty, but hey, it was the flag and so forth. In this case, this is something Steve's done a great job of this year particularly, where he's had these deep throws, and every one of them he's got separation by doing a little extra. And so this time he kind of got caught with his hand in the cookie jar.
Sometimes you get called, sometimes you don't. That's the way the game goes. When we see you next, we'll kind of mark out the game and how it went. Coach will do that. He's a little better at it than I am. But first, let's send it back to Mike in the Holy Grail.
Okay, thanks a lot, Brad. Our guest here at the Eichler Golf Car Autograph Table is the quarterback, Jason Campbell. Jason, you've started a ton of games in your career, and if you look at your career stats, pretty good. How do you go from adjusting to now just being the guy who's one play away? Because as we saw, Michael Vick admitted he wasn't prepared for this with the Jets just a couple of weeks ago. It's hard.
Yeah, it's extremely hard. You're a backup rather than a starter. As a starter, you get all the practice reps during the week. You kind of see all the different looks, and if a play is not right in practice, you kind of get a feel for it. Whereas a backup, you don't get any reps in practice. All the reps you get is the opposing team offensive reps, and you try to use those reps as much as you possibly can to make it like a game-like situation for you. But you still can't. It's nothing that can prepare you. It's just a mindset. You just have to try to prepare yourself mentally as much as you possibly can, so when you do have to play, that you can go in and mentally be on top of what you're doing.
You were a rookie quarterback in this league. You'll see Blake Bortles on Sunday. What is that young man going through as a rookie in this league with obviously not a ton of talent around him right now?
It's hard.